So, we hope to give you a glimpse of the project that has become our lives over the past few months and introduce you to the people who have become family. Our film, Finding Grace, is a faith-based family drama, unlike any other. It is a story of trial and hope, of pain and temperance, a story of redemption, family, faith, and forgiveness. The events take place in Panama City, Florida, and center on the Rose family, specifically 18-year-old Alaska Rose, played by the incredibly talented and lovely Paris Warner. Fans will recognize Paris as the lead from the acclaimed faith-based teen comedy Once I Was a Beehive, as well as many other films including Love at First Glance with Amy Smart. At 14 years of age, Alaska goes into a tailspin, acting out when her mom up and leaves, tearing a hole in the family. Now 4 years later, Alaska gets into some more trouble. Except this time, she's 18 years old and faces real legal problems. Played by household name and veteran actress Erin Gray, who many will remember as Colonel Wilma Daring from Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, Katie Stratton on all 6 seasons of the hit show Silver Spoons, and countless other televisions and film roles, Judge Ariel Harper sets Alaska on a path of discovery.
Now, this being your first recorded offense as an adult, I will suspend the 60 days detention in county jail in lieu of 100 hours of community service.
100 hours? It's like my entire life.
Let's make that 150. Would you prefer 200?
Trying to keep Alaska in line while putting food on the table alone is her father, Connor, portrayed by outstanding, very accomplished performer Jason Wade. Jason is known for many dynamic roles, such as the lead of Ron Hartley in the thriller and true story The Cokeville Miracle, as well as the lead of Levi Savage in the beautiful historical film 17 Miracles. He is also an action talent known for playing such characters as Bud Curtis in the war drama Saints and Soldiers Airborne Crete, and Rezik in the fantasy thriller Mythica The Iron Crown.
Stop it, Allie. Just stop it. You are not going anywhere tonight. You are not going anywhere for a long time.
This isn't happening. This is not happening.
Do you grasp what is happening? You were just arrested, Allie. Arrested. You could be in jail right now, which is way different than some little overnight holding cell. You are not going who knows where anymore.
Since when do you care where I go?
There's some scenes in Finding Grace that when we shot them, I just felt like they were straight out of life. Like, I have seen that happen, a dozen times in my own life. I have seen that happen in other people's lives. Sometimes movie making can become too perfected. We work these scenes so much, and we know the ending of the story, and so some scenes may seem contrite, but this one I just felt like it flowed. So you weren't being given too much at the beginning, and there was really some real emotion that's going on inside these scenes. It was really fun to tackle.
Rounding out our all-star cast is one of the most recognizable actors in the industry. David Keith is cast as the church leader for the Rose family. Best known for roles in such blockbusters as An Officer and a Gentleman, Daredevil, and U-571, opposite Matthew McConaughey, David has had a steady, illustrious career, solidifying him as a proven and consistent box office draw. Alongside the family's struggle in finding grace is Alaska Rose's relationship with Mrs. Foster, the woman who she is assigned to for community service hours at the Sunnyvale Health and Rehab Center. Played by Hollywood actress Keisha Oglesby, the unapproachable and reclusive Miss Foster is an obstacle to Alaska's freedom and a test for her patience and faith. As a faith-based film, Finding Grace strives to present the gospel of Jesus Christ in a way you have never seen before, as told through everyday, flawed characters who live and breathe, and who are engaged in worldly experiences that we should find familiar. Here is what some of the other casts had to say about their experience.
With Finding Grace, it explores kind of some darker topics and struggles that people are dealing with every day, inside the faith-based community and outside the faith-based community, but it's not really talked about. I feel like a lot of times in faith-based films, we don't like to address the really, really hard things, and this one does that, I feel like. And so when you have people in the faith-based community watching, it's like, oh, I'm allowed to feel those feelings. I'm allowed to, feel this way and work through this. That's not bad of me to feel these things, to be angry, or, and it kind of, I think, gives an allowance of that, but also shows the growth that takes place after that, and that you can get through it, I think.
Me having kids, teenagers, having gone through the same thing, I thought, wait a second, I know you didn't talk to my daughter about this script, because I would know. The things really do happen to the teenagers, and you have to have faith. And one thing about it is it does give you that sense of, okay, you can have faith, and it may be internalized, and it's having that faith and finding it and being able to portray that in the youth today.
And that was another thing too, what caught my attention when I read it. It speaks to you in that way, but it doesn't, shove it down your throat. You know what I mean? And so it's like anything else. It's like we all are on, we can all teach the word without actually pulling scripture from anything. So just in conversation, me and you talking right now, I can say something positive to you. You can say something positive to me, and now we preach it to each other.
Yeah, I love that it's honest, and that it doesn't, and again, into the writing, you can observe, and it'll read this way on camera as well, that it's just natural. It doesn't feel like, oh, we need to be careful how we say certain things. It's like, no, for like the Bible, for instance, it's very explicit. It's like, oh, hello, these are real things that happened, and we're not gonna tiptoe around it. It's like, that's life. And so with Alaska, it's like, yeah, she's a human, she's a teenager, she's trying, she's struggling, she's making mistakes, and she's battling so many things. So there's no sugarcoating, and I appreciate that, because it's gonna reach more people that way, I think.
We've poured our hearts and energy into making this film the best it could be. We've put these magic moments on film. All of us, from the writer, producer, to the talent, even the production assistant, each play their own part in presenting this story. A story we hope will touch people's lives and give them hope. We thank you for watching and hope you consider any level of support. God bless.